and it'll probably just be, it should be the video and the audio. I don't really do this, so bear with me. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to just show you, basically recap what we discussed yesterday, and then we'll show you how AppFolio is really going to automate a lot of that day-to-day workflow and process to streamline your business and really enable you to reach your goals. So after that, moving forward, we cover implementation. We show you what implementation is going to look like, and then review the agreement and get you started. Everything sound good?
Sounds good.
Perfect. So the current situation, from everything I took from yesterday, you're working on the unit that's 99 units right now. Average rent is $575 a month, and everything is done investment. You buy the property, you guys fix it up, and then you rent it out. Everything is on Excel spreadsheets right now. It's a lot of system, and ideally everything would be in one system. And, really the end goal is to just have a software that can help you manage on a day-to-day and really, make you more efficient when it comes to running the business. And then, we were talking about, what were some of the things that were holding you back. And there were some common challenges that, I was hearing. Obviously, this isn't the first time, your first rodeo where you guys have, managed a property and turned things around. But, the manual spreadsheets and processes, accounts receivable, and then really on the maintenance side, so having everything in one system. I was told that you guys were collecting, a lot of money orders, and, with the spreadsheets, everything's kind of a mess. And, you're still in the initial stage of setting all the items up and getting the business up and running for this particular property. So when I was when I was asking, what is your ideal solution? Ideally everything would be in one place. You'd be able to automate rent collection, automate maintenance requests. Nothing would be re-entered. You guys can have something that could be accessed online and really save time on those routine tasks. Anything else? I know I didn't talk to you about the automation when it comes to leasing, but I got a little bit of feedback that having everything in one area, automatically be able to online applications and screening. Anything else that you'd like to add here?
No, that looks awesome. I like the owner's portal for the investors to be able to, they'll be able to log into the system as well and can see or get, okay, that's awesome. That's perfect.
Perfect. Well, and the great thing is we're going to run through all of that right now. So I want to show you how we're going to do leasing, how we're going to do accounts receivable, and then an example of an owner and a tenant portal. But the first thing that we tend to see the biggest time savings is with the accounts receivable or just, collecting rent. So with AppFolio, what we do is you can actually have your tenants pay 3 different ways, and all 3 ways are going to be free to you. So your tenants can go online. They can pay their rent 24/7 through their checking account. They have the option to pay with their credit card. When I talked to Kendrick yesterday, he said that a lot of money orders are received. And what we've actually done, you can have your tenants actually have their own individual pay slip, which looks like this. So if you have a 7-Eleven or an Ace Cash Express, which are, all over the country, each tenant is going to have their name and their address and their own barcode. So what they're going to do is walk down to the local 7-Eleven or Ace Cash Express, the 7-Eleven, go get a Slurpee and hand over your $575 and then have this scanned, and they'll get a receipt saying that their rent has been paid. The benefit to you is that those funds are deposited in your account the next day if they're received by 7 p.m. So you don't have to wait around for cash or money orders. You don't have to have the office open. You don't have to physically deposit the checks. All of this is taken care of for you. And the only charge that we have, it's $3.99 processing fee. We try to make this a similar fee to what they'd be paying for a money order, and only they will encounter this charge. To you, it's 100% free on your end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
that's amazing.
So we try to make this, a big portion, especially as you're growing and you guys are scaling and, doing buildings and then moving on to the next. I mean, this is the easiest way that you can automate your accounts receivable or your rent collection. Your tenants do have the option to go online, and if they do have a checking account, They can set up an auto pay, or they can set up a one-time payment. And through the system, you can actually invoice them out and say, you know, I need you to pay. You can actually text them through the system as well, and all of that is recorded. The benefit of having everything in one area is that all of your accounting records are synced up, so when you run your reports, they can everything works together and is integrated together.
Gotcha.
Now, do you guys have, I didn't ask on our initial call, did you guys have a website? No, there isn't one. Okay. So the reason I ask about the website, one thing that we do, and especially if you guys are looking to, you know, grow your business, we definitely recommend having a website. We build them out here at AppFolio, and what we recommend is, because this is going to be the face of the company, you know, this is where you're going to have, ideally, your tenants go to, you know, look at the next available property that's coming available for prospects. You can actually send them and direct them here to go online and pay their rent. They can post and update vacancies, and they can go there and submit online maintenance requests. The website is also where we're going to direct them to go for an online owner's portal. So with AppFolio, what we do is we have professional content writers on staff and professional site designers on staff, and all they do is make property management websites. So when you talk about making sure that you have a mobile responsive site, staying on the top rankings of Google and keywords, we make sure that all of that is up to date because of our staff here. So if that's something, if you'd like to consider, I could definitely show you how we integrate a website for your company to your platform. So really, your website is like the face of the company, and your platform is obviously the back end where everything happens behind the scenes.
Right, back office.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
What
So what
does it cost with something like this?
So the website is additional charge. We have a one-time build-out website charge of $1,000, which is pretty competitive for building out a whole website, and then a hosting of $50 a month. So once you get up and running and everything's built out, for the platform itself is $200, and then for the website it's $50 a month. So the $50 doesn't change. For the platform, once you guys go above 200 units, it's simply $1 per unit. So you can still add 101 units, and your price would still be $200 for the platform.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
It might be something we may not jump into that one right away.
Yeah, and we have ways where, you know, we could definitely, you know, work with you in your time. You know, the most important thing is making sure everything is one area and you get up and running that way. We can always add that on.
Okay.
But what I wanted to show you with the leasing part, can you see where it says appeal to the modern renter?
Yes.
So at AppFolio, we do leasing. You know, we call it the modern approach to leasing. So, you know, your new tenant wants and expects to communicate online. You know, they're searching on their cell phones for everything, the majority of the time. But once they're resident, they want to pay their rent online, set their maintenance requests online. And AppFolio, you know, when you're going to find new tenants, what we do is we actually have a whole system where you can show the property. You can have them apply on the spot with an online application. From that information that's received, go in, click one button. I'm going to show you in a couple minutes. Screen them on the spot, and then have the lease electronically signed right then and there. So this is incredibly useful if you're trying to rent out a whole bunch of units at once and really cut down that turn time. And you can have people moved in and moved out significantly quicker. So I have people that go through the entire leasing process of showing the property, having them apply, scanning and screening them, and then physically moving them in 20 minutes. So it's a really quick way of, you know, cutting down the faxing and the back and forth, and all of that is going to be stored in the system.
Wow.
What are your thoughts on that?
My thought is that it's awesome but scary at the same time, because then it kind of takes away your personal touch of being able to you know, touch the tenant beforehand, because sometimes, you know, even though you can show it online, they can apply online, but yeah, it just takes that personal touch away.
Well, and the thing is this is after, and a lot of the time my clients, after they show the property, the whole leasing process. So you would ideally meet them in person, show them the property, and while they're there and they're interested, run through all of the leasing. Like
so they would go to like a docking station that we would have already set up there in the leasing office to apply online, and then it would do the screening, and the approval would go right back to the tenant, or would it come to the property manager to, you know, double check and look and make sure that nothing's been missed before the approval is given to the tenant?
It would come back, so they would submit their application, and then you would go into the system and click the screen button, and then a screening report would show up. And then if you decide that you want that tenant to move in, you simply, in the system, click convert to tenant, and then they become a tenant that way. So you have all the control. The benefit of this is that it makes it a lot easier on your end, that you're not waiting for the screening report to come back or to re-enter any application information. All of that is done in the system.
Okay, I was looking at the screen instantly where it's approved. So that's the screen that I would see. The tenant would not see that.
Exactly. So what we do is we're going to take the information from their application, and this might be a little bit easier way to do it. So can you see right here, it shows the screening on the spot. So what we do is we'll take the information from the online application that they received, and you know, especially for low income, if you're worried that they don't have computers or cell phones, when you're actually showing the property, I just have a lot of, you know, clients bring a tablet and they can fill out their application right there. They can actually just take a picture of their pay stub or their driver's license with the tablet as well, and it automatically uploads into the system. And then from there, we're gonna click one button, and from the information that they submitted, which is also stored in the system, all of that will be saved, and you can screen them instantly. So what looks like this will pop up. It's a professional screening report. We're actually partnered with Experian. So what you get is, within 30 seconds actually, is a FICO credit score, all their rent payment history, eviction history, and criminal history. So we try to make this as easy to read as possible. Anything in red is something, anything in red is something negative. Anything in blue you can actually drill down into. But the benefit is, like, say you're meeting with someone face to face, we try and make the first page as easy to read as possible. And then actually, like this for example is 5 pages long, and so you can go into more detail that way. But once you move them in, you know, this will be stored in there, and so you take this information and decide if you want to move forward or what if you want to do anything else. But this is just the screening report on our end that we'll do for you.
Wow. Okay, that's awesome.
So I'll show you how that's done in the platform in just a second when we jump in. The other thing I know that's a key interest that Kendrick wanted is Kendrick's on the call, right?
Yeah.
Hey, he's in the back. I thought he was there. I thought I heard him earlier. I know that you said that was the maintenance requests and online work orders were, you know, a big pillar that you wanted to focus on in the product demonstration. So with AppFolio, what they can do is they can actually submit an online maintenance request. Once they do that, a work order is electronically generated, and it will actually go through the system. So it'll email you, and it'll automatically create a work order. I'll show you how it's completely tied into all the property information, so all of it can seamlessly be tracked in the system. You can actually pay out your vendor, and you can create invoices all from the work orders that are generated, and we'll tie it to the property, the owner, and the tenant info. So I'll show you what that looks like, but just so you know, everything is tracked in the system. And the other thing that's really helpful too is we have an inspections feature. So we actually call it our mobile inspections feature. So if you or one of your maintenance people are doing walkthroughs, say if someone's moving out or you're doing an annual walkthrough, you can just walk it through with your cell phone, and you can, you know, tie it to the property address, and then just pull everything up, and you could talk your notes into your phone, and it'll automatically write it down. Same thing as you could take pictures and upload it right into the screening report, or I'm sorry, the maintenance inspections report. So it's instantly tied in. You don't have to retype any notes. It's just a great way of keeping everything clean, organized, and again, I'll show you how that looks when we go into the system. So what I wanted to do was actually show you what an example of an AppFolio website would look like, whether you're doing it now or at another time. What we do here is we're going to try and like get the feel and look of the company and what you want to basically show, as this is going to be the face of the company. Like, this is my favorite website that I've seen so far. So this is what I like using. So this is where your tenants are going to go online and pay their rent, view available properties, and submit their maintenance requests. If you want to do any social media integrations, we definitely recommend that, especially if you're looking to market. You definitely want to get your name out there. And then with every website, you actually have a responsive site that comes with it. So this is what it would look like on a tablet. And most importantly, this is what it's going to look like on a cell phone, as your tenants are most likely going to do one of three of these things. So having a mobile responsive site, sorry, go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, I was like, I was just agreeing.
Okay.
I'm like, I like that.
So having a mobile responsive site, just so you guys know, is imperative as of April 21st. If you don't have a mobile responsive site, you'll actually be dinged by Google on your rankings. So as an emerging company, you definitely want to make sure that you're using, everything you can to stay on top of those rankings. With AppFolio, we give you a Google Analytics account. We use keywords for that specific area and for the industry itself to make sure that you're on top of those rankings for organic search. So what we like to say is we're really your technology partner, and any updates you want to do to your website, any changes, it's 100% included with just being an AppFolio customer, so you don't ever have to worry about paying extra for making changes or anything like that. So this is really the face of everything, and you can actually, any featured properties, like say you guys are going to move on to Chicago next year and you want to add, 100 properties and featured on your website, you could definitely do that here. So this is like what we call the face of the company. The back end is going to be AppFolio. So this is what whoever's logging in, if it's just you two, or if you have a maintenance person or another marketing person, they're going to have their email and their password. And when you log in, this is what you're going to see. So this is really the dashboard of AppFolio. So everything from leasing, property, people, accounting, maintenance, everything is right here. This is really your home page of AppFolio. So with your dashboard, you can really customize what you want to see when you come on to the dashboard itself. So people moving in and out, all the online payments that have been received, including, people are going down to 7-Eleven and paying by e-check or by electronic cash. All of that to kind of get an idea of what's going on with your business. You can set notifications, so say you have any activities that are coming up that are due, just a great way of keeping organized. Tiny, really on your end, if you wanted to have guest cards or rental applications that have been submitted and seeing what's coming in, this is a great way to do that. I like to put, for accounting reasons, like your key performance metrics, so kind of seeing like what's the pulse and what's going on in your business. So all of this is customizable. One of the coolest features that we have here is our universal search bar. We kind of call it like the Google of your platform. So you can actually search by person, by owner, by tenant, by address, by phone number. So it's just like you're waiting in line for a coffee and you're like, oh, I need to call Brandon. You can type his phone number in, and you can type his name in, and it'll instantly populate, and you can actually text him from the platform. So it's just a great way of, not all the time you can remember every little thing. So we kind of say it's like a digital filing cabinet for,
Wow.
everything that you need. Yeah, and from here, this is an example of a tenant profile. You can text Brandon, and when you text out from the platform, it automatically records it in case there's any kind of dispute. Same thing goes with your emailing. Has Brandon's all his information here, and anything that you might need to do for Brandon. But just an example of the universal search bar. I also like to point out here too, so AppFolio is very focused on making sure that you have the cutting edge of technology that's available. So we're constantly doing updates. So you can look and see what's new with things that are available in the system. We do updates once, twice, 3 times a month, and we simply don't charge for it. A lot of companies charge for upgrades and things like that. We try to be very transparent, and we value that you choose us as a company to help run your business, and just want to make sure that you have everything that's available that we offer. So the first thing that I wanted to go through was the leasing. So say you have a unit coming available, what you're going to do is go under leasing and vacancies, and right here we'll have a list of everything that's available or coming up that's available. For each unit that you have, like with your 99 complex, like if there's 10 units that are pretty much identical, you can just do the same one, a generic one in here. For every unit though, you can click download marketing flyer, and what we'll do is we'll create a professional marketing looking flyer. Shows the description, all the amenities, all the rental terms. So if you need to email this out to anybody, if like an investor specifically wants to see it, it's a great way of seeing and showing a professional presence. But going back into the system, if you wanted to post that to your website, that's available, all you're going to do is come in here and just click post. And same thing goes for where it says right here, the internet. All you're going to do is come in here and click post, and we'll push out what looks like that professional marketing flyer to over 100 different websites. So Zillow, Trillia, apartments.com, and it'll show right there with a link to your online application. So let me show you an example of that. So you're going to go to available properties, and all of your available properties are going to be here. So your tenants can either fill out a guest card if it's not available, or if they just want more information, or they can drill that into and find out more about the individual unit. So you have unlimited pictures that you can post, rental terms. You can put a video walkthrough in if you want to do that. We actually also can we put a convenience, a map in for convenience. But if your tenant is available and they do want to move in right then, it just simply links it to the online application. And so you'll set the application fee of what you want them to pay. Normally, we definitely recommend, having it at least cover what the screening is. For the screen I showed you, it's $15 a screen. That's the only thing besides the website that's additional in AppFolio. So these funds are going to be routed to whichever bank account you want us to send the funds to. You go ahead and get started, and it'll prompt all these different cues for the online application. So when you go back into the system, you're going to go into leasing, and one more thing, as soon as you rent that unit, so say the unit's rented and you have a tenant move in, you're going to come back here and click unpost, and we'll pull that available unit off all those websites for you. So you don't have to pull any of that information off. We'll take care of that for you.
Wow.
So, I know, I talk to some people and they're like, I feel like half my day is just removing things off Craigslist. And I'm like, yeah, you don't have to do that anymore. So you just go in here and you're going to go under rental applications. And for every unit that people have applied for, you're going to have the applicant information, the date they're desiring to move in, and then when it's been received. So like say in your case, you have a unit that becomes available and 15 different people apply. You'll have a date and time stamp so you know who came first. But what you're going to do in here is everything that you asked for the application will be automatically stored in a tenant profile in AppFolio. So all their personal information, social security card, which is what we're going to use to screen them. If you want to put pets, vehicles, emergency contact, any specific questions as well. And anytime you attach a file, we'll automatically put that as well. So if they took a picture of their pay stub and put that in the application, what's neat is from all this information, I should have filled this in beforehand. From all that information, we'll pull that, and right here where it says, let me go back, sorry about that. Let me go back to Hughes. So right here where it says screen now, you're going to have, if you're interested in screening Hugh, say you like him, he submitted his online application, he paid the application fee, you can click screen now, and what will pull up is that screening report. It takes about 30 seconds, and it'll automatically pull up from the information. So What this means is no manual reentry, no contacting the screening report service. We try to have all the pieces talk together, so this is how you can receive the application and screen them instantly. And then if you decide, so you say you like Hugh, you met him in person, you screened him, you know, you made sure he's a good candidate, all you're going to do is click right here, convert to tenant. All the information from their online application and their screening report is going to automatically be stored, and they're going to be now a tenant under your electronic database right here.
Wow, okay.
Any questions on that?
No, not yet. This is good.
Okay, perfect. So that's really just, you know, leasing in a nutshell. You can also do online lease signing if you want to do that. Just another way of saving a little bit of time. When it comes to what I want to show you is how your tenants are going to go online and actually pay their rent. So, you know, a lot of the time we're going to, you know, we're definitely going to encourage you to get a website so they can go there to pay. There's other ways if you guys aren't going to do a website right now that we can get them to pay online, or they can do it through the pay slip. So when they either do the pay slip, it'll be there automatically the next day, or they can go online. And so see where it says tenant portal. This is also where you're going to have a link for your owner portal as well. So with the tenant portal, they're going to go to pay online, and what you actually do is be routed to their individual tenant portal. So from here, they can actually set up a reoccurring payment, or they can pay now a one-time payment, and they have the chance to do e-check, which is from their checking account, or a credit card payment, which is, you know, they have the option to do that as well. So once you say they're going to do e-check, it's going to prompt them, you know, when should this be made, how much, etc., and they run through all of that. They can have their checking account saved on here, so they don't always have to have their checking account information, and they're just going to go and make the payment now. So what that looks like on your end, whether it's through e-check or credit card, or with the, you know, through 7-Eleven, the electronic cash payment, what you're going to do is go into accounting, receivables, and you just let us know what bank account you want those funds to be added to, and it'll show up in AppFolio right here if it's received by 7 p.m. So really the benefit of this is all of your, you know, all of your money coming in is going to be tracked in AppFolio. You can come into reports and, you know, say it's the 5th and you want to run a report of everyone who's late, you just simply run a delinquency report. Or you can actually tell us if people haven't paid by the 5th, automatically assess a late fee of $20 or $50 and have it assessed to their account. And they'll get an email. You can have them, you can send out an email, or you can have it just post to their tenant portal.
Okay, yeah. So for those that are using money orders, is the 7-Eleven, whatever, is that the only option that they have? They would still be able to come into the office with their money order, and we could still post it for them, correct?
That is correct. So you would just look up the tenant real quick. Let's say it was Eric, and you can actually enter credit, enter receipt, enter charge. If they gave you a check, you would just simply enter the check in. So you can do, yeah, they definitely could do one-offs. So these are just easier way, you know, in a long term to make it a little bit more streamlined, so you don't have to be involved. But yeah, it's definitely if someone walks in, you can record it in the system. Actually, from AppFolio as well, you can print checks out if you wanted to pay out vendors, and then you can do everything through ACH as well. So everything can be incorporated in the system.
Gotcha.
And then great question though. You can actually go in and charge people individually too if you wanted to charge them late fees, but the reports are just a great way of seeing, you know, who's late and who's not late.
Oh, absolutely.
So the other thing I wanted to show you was, I'm going to go back to the tenant portal. So we're in, you know, basically your tenants can submit a maintenance request, and what that looks like, I'm going to go back to what their individual tenant portal looks like, and under maintenance, they can request, you know, it'll be their contact information, the date it's created, and, you know, instead of calling you on your cell phone or sending you an email, just write, you know, the sink is broken, and give permission to enter. When they submit that, on the back end, under maintenance, under work orders, it'll automatically create a work order. So what this does is it will funnel through, create a service request or work order. It'll show the tenant information, the owner information, all the property information. This is where you would store any home warranty information or insurance. If this particular property has a maintenance limit, you would put that right here. And then from the work order, you would just edit it. So if you want to, edit the description, if you wanted to assign a vendor, or if you wanted to assign an actual maintenance person. So all of this information is going to be tracked. The benefit of this is we'll tie it to that particular property. So if you're running reports at the end of the month, we'll tie it to all the 1099 vendor information. So when you're running 1099s, again, all of this is tracked. So it's just seamlessly entered and tracked in the system. And from here, you can actually, all these actions are available. So you can track the estimate, you can notify the tenant, schedule it, mark it done, create a bill. So everything, again, is incorporated into the system. So on your reporting, your owner statements or investment statements, all of that will be tied in. Same thing, again, with the 1099 vendor information. And then you can also go in and set reoccurring work orders. So if you guys have landscaping or anything like that, you can set that up. The same thing goes for inspections. You have the piece of doing a move in, move out, your annual inspection. You would just go through and tie it to the property. And then from here, you would just you would take your phone and talk in your notes and take pictures and upload them. And it will be saved to this specific property. And from here, you can actually, if there's anything that needs to be done, you can create a work order, you can print out the inspection, or you can share it. Say you're doing a walkthrough, at the very end when someone's moving out, you can share it with that tenant right then and there, and it automatically stores in the system. Yeah, and then and then the other thing I wanted to show you was our reporting feature. So we have over 90 reports that you can run in the system. A lot of what my clients like to do, I know when we were talking yesterday, Kendrick, you said like you do a rent roll and, just a lot of, there's 4 or 5 different things that the investment company wants to see. So what I would definitely recommend is you have an option here to save your reports. So you can actually lump together multiple different reports, and every month you just go in and adjust the time date, and it'll save in the system of the preferences you like for that specific report.
Okay. Do they have a report where basically you can have trends like move-in trends, where we could basically see what month, we're getting more people that's trying to move in or move out or whatever?
What do you mean by that?
Like when you're selling a house or buying a house, everyone knows when the perfect time is to put your home on the market. And everyone knows when it's time to sit still. This is not a good time of the season to put your home on the market. So on the market too long, it may not sell. It doesn't look good to try to put it back out there. So just looking at, is there certain times of the year that it seems to be more of a high trend for people that are searching or people that are inquiring for a place to stay, to rent an apartment.
That'll give us focus on when to run specials.
When to run specials, right? So the slow times,
gotcha.
like marketing-wise, the slow times, like, a lot of people I know like with homes, in the winter, it gets very slow. So that might be the perfect time. But each property is totally different. In each city would be totally different. So us being able to see something like that, we would be able to know exactly the culture and the trend of that property and when to run any type of move-in special.
I definitely understand that. I mean, this is something, the information that you're going to have based in the system is off of what has already happened. So, I mean, without, already using it for a year, like one thing I'd recommend is, go through and see when guest cards were submitted for what property, but you would need to have that historical data. So that's not something we would have in here per se. However, part of being an AppFolio customer is having access to use our system, which is RentLinks. And what that does is it takes, it surveys the surrounding area for all that, data information. So you might be able to get some of that because all they do is basically tell you what the correct rent is, when the popular time is, and all of that information.
Yes.
That's an add-on feature or not an add-on feature, that's an additional feature that is just included with your price, but it would be something that you guys can definitely leverage and use once you're in the AppFolio system.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. But other than that, all the reporting that we have, like your leasing report, your tax reports, transaction, all of your accounting is really, like I said, it's automated. So when you go to run a rent roll, it's all going to be incorporated into, everything that's been received from your AR or, your rent each month, and then what has been incorporated like that. So for an example, in here, like I know that right now you guys are using Excel spreadsheets. What we do is this is an example of a rent roll, and we have all the units that you have available. We can actually manipulate the report. So anything you want to see or anything you don't want to see, you just simply check or uncheck. We try to make this as simple as possible. And then what's great is you can export the report in Excel. So you can just send that out if you want to save it that way. You can print it, you can email it, or you can actually save it as, this is, the Ohio rent roll. And just save the preferences, and then when you go back into the system, you'll have Ohio rent roll saved in here. And so it's just a great way of just keeping everything really, see it saved right there. It's a great way of just keeping everything clean, simple, very easy to use.
Right.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on the platform?
I'm loving it. I'm just still I'm just thinking, like I said, the website would come later, I'm sure. So some of the tools that a tenant would use by going to the website would not be something we would be using right away. So I'm just trying to see. I know you said there were other options if we weren't going to use the website right away. How would they still be able to do anything online if we don't have the website?
Great question. Well, the first thing, too, with the website, say you guys were interested to get signed up right now, what we'll do is we'll actually start building that out, and you can probably be up and running within 4 to 8 weeks with your website live. What we do out of courtesy is we push back the billing for 4 to 5 months. So say you signed up today, you wouldn't start paying for your website until May. However, it would be built and up and running within 4 to 8 weeks. So that's something that's a little bit of a buffer. If you guys just, if you're a year or two out for being able to have a website, what you can do is you can email out the portals to your owners and to your tenants, and so they can have access and log on themselves. All they're going to need to do is have an email address to be able to use it. When it comes to marketing, what you do is if you do not have a website, what you're going to do is actually where it says right here where it's internet and you go to post, what you can do is we'll have a link set up for an online application. So they're not going to go to your website and get more information and fill it out that way. They'll just have a link and you can send them the online application. So it's a little bit different of a workaround. It's just a lot easier if you have a website, but we definitely can make, you still have the option to use all of the features. It's just not as seamless, I guess is the way to put it.
Gotcha. And in terms of the system, if I have multiple leasing agents, am I able to? I see all the reports. I know that you're showing me the platform wide open right now. Mm-hmm. Is there a way to lock it down security-wise by user?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, so I would definitely recommend you and your husband or whoever you recommend have presidential or super user control. But the great thing is you have unlimited seats, so you can have as many users as you want. We actually encourage that, no extra charges. But you can restrict their access. So if you want to have someone just have leasing and marketing accessibility, and someone who would be different that would just have maintenance. I have a lot of customers and clients that give access for their accountants only to run reports and have accounting. So that's, yeah. And you know, the good thing too is you have unlimited service and support with AppFolio. So when you come on and you're building out your platform, you're going to have a dedicated implementation manager. They're really going to set up, you know, building out your platform, next steps, and really make sure that you're 100% comfortable before you go live. But as long as you're a customer, you have unlimited service and support for the life of you being a customer. So we really go about, you know, making it different to make sure that you're 100% ready to go, because we understand it's, you know, it's scary to try something new, and we take a lot of value in that you choose us. And that's something that really separates us amongst a lot of other companies is we're going to build out your platform. We try to make this as easy to use. We actually have a whole team here that's dedicated to make sure that you're comfortable and up and running and you're successful.
So it sounds like your platform actually does what there's a company called Fabcode that does like the credit checks and the background checks and look at the evictions and stuff like that and income. Does that as well as what Yardi does. It looks like you guys do all of this all in one platform.
We do. And the best part is we try to be extremely transparent about everything. So we try to make something very easy to use, all integrated, and then very transparent pricing. So yeah, I mean, that's a lot of people come. I don't know the other company that you're talking about, but a lot of people come over to us from Yardi because of that specific reason, where it's easy to use, it's actually very inexpensive for what you get, and then the level of service and support that you receive. So, right.
And I noticed that the one that sheet is $15. Okay, so is there pricing behind other sheets, or is that just the one charge?
Are you talking about the screen?
Right, the screen.
Okay, yeah. So you can do the FICO, the rent payment history, the credit history, and the eviction history for $10. So it's all of the things on the report minus criminal. So if you do all of it with criminal, it's $15. So you have the option of doing that minus criminal for $10.
No. Yeah, we would want criminal because we look at felonies, and so it's $15. That's what you're saying? $15 for the credit, the criminal, the rental history, and the income.
And the eviction history.
Right, and the eviction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the best thing is you know, when you do move that person in, so say you have a tenant and you do move them in, if you did screen them, it'll be stored in screening under the report. So it's always there to access to.
Wow.
So it's great. Everything's tied together. You know, we have, I think it's like about 11,000 clients now, and you know, the benefit is you know, they really, you know, a lot of the time when people come onto the platform, they see a significant savings in, you know, their day-to-day tasks. They see end up seeing a 50 to 75% of their routine tasks in just time savings, so they can really, you know, enable their business to grow and do everything quicker and more efficient. So I think you'll see everything is purposely built to be plugged in together to just save you more time and, in essence, more money.
And okay, so now with the 7-Eleven bill pay or rent pay stations or whatever, we don't have 7-Eleven here. I'm familiar with 7-Eleven because they're back home on the East Coast. But we have you have ACE, you do ACE?
Yeah, so this would be an example of one that's for 7-Eleven, and then the other one is ACE Cash Express.
Okay, we do have ACE here. Okay.
Yeah, so those are the two companies. So they're going to have a token number instead of a barcode.
Gotcha.
That's the only difference. Yeah, and so each one of your customers, or sorry, your tenants will have and the option to do this. So we would just provide it to you. Again, that's just something that's included with AppFolio.
And it's no charge to me, but whatever they would have to pay to make their rent payment there.
Yeah,
is what they would pay for $3.95, whatever.
Yeah, it's $3.99, which is now like cheaper than money orders in most places. So yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, okay. And then they do have the option to pay by credit card or by electronic cash payment or ACH payment through their checking account. But what I can do is I can put together a proposal that really outlines everything that's included with AppFolio. We actually do have, I'll send you the features video, just another high-level overview of what I showed you, but just shows you how everything syncs together. But what I can do is also send you the contract that we do a whole payment schedule, so it's a lot easier to get up and running with AppFolio, so you're not, have a whole bunch of fees at once. It would just be spaced out and we can get you onboarded. Like if you wanted to do the website, we would push out all the billing till May, but build the website and get it going right now. But make sure that you're building out and making sure people are paying through your website and you're growing your business that way.
Mm-hmm. And then what is to get started? I know you were talking about the $200 minimum a month or what have you, but what is like the setup fee and stuff like that? Just for the platform.
Great question. So we have, with your unit size, we have a one-time platform build-out fee, which includes service and support for the remainder of you being a AppFolio customer, and that's $400. And so that's going to include your dedicated implementation manager, and then anytime you need to contact us, it's just included. That's the only thing that's going to be due like upon signing, say today, and then we will push out your platform billing to the next following month. So if you sign up today, you won't be having to pay for your platform until February. So you have two ways of paying. You could actually pay annually, or you could pay quarterly. And so you just let us know which way you'd prefer to pay. If you do pay annually, you get a 10% discount for the platform for the year.
Okay, and the platform is the $200 minimum a month. That's what you're referring to, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I can do is I can actually I can send the contract over to you, and you can. It's a little bit easier to get when you have it in front of you. You see the payment schedule.
Right.
To create the contract, though, I need to have a physical address to put on there.
Okay. You would want to put what's the address on there?
2735.
2735.
Hill Vista Ave.
Hill Vista Ave.
Hill Vista.
Yeah. Hill Vista. HILLVISTA.
Hill
Vista Lane. One. It's Hill Vista Lane, excuse me.
Okay. And what city?
Cincinnati, Ohio. Zip code will be 45239.
Okay.
And what suite would it be?
4.
That would be suite 4. Uh-huh.
Okay. Save that.
And it would be, because you have Wiresource, so it would actually be under Declan. D-E-C-L-A-N.
D-E-C-L-A-N. That's the name of the company?
That's Square Apartments.
Declan Square Apartments.
Right.
Okay.
Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to the recording that we're doing that you send me in this information, and I'm going to actually send it to the investors for the property. And I have to have them take a look and make sure that this is a fit, because ultimately they're going to pay, they're the ones that's going to pay for it. And I want to make sure that what they use for some of their other properties, this may be something that they'll move all their other properties to, or and just to make sure that the reports, because I want it to be as user friendly as possible for us, but I want to make sure that the reports are in line with what they are currently used to and what they like to see. So just kind of getting them a chance to take a look at it and make sure that they're okay with everything as well.
Definitely understand that. Okay. And can you repeat the zip code one more time?
45239.
Okay. Okay. Well, perfect. And you guys.
Okay. Now, anything, Kelly? Anything currently right now? If you decide to do any mailing, I'd rather you mail it directly to because I have an office outside of down there. I'd rather you send it to the Wiresource office because there's a transition that's taking place shortly, and I don't even know how to really say this. What they have in place is getting removed, and so it's something we're kind of taking over, and so we don't need any confusion. Just yet.
we can hold off on mailing anything. I mean, the only thing that we mail is we sometimes mail you like mugs and stuff like that, or we mail out cookies a lot to our customers. So those are the only things those are the only things.
Yeah,
really
okay, that's fine. That's once we're set up.
Cookies, right?
That's once we're set up. I love cookies. You can send all the cookies you want. No.
Well, and everything, we definitely try to be a paperless company here. We're very green. So when we do, say you are going to sign the document for the contract, all of that would be done on our electronic signing service. So all of that would be, stored electronically.
Okay, great. That's perfect. So, I look forward to getting all the information and the recording, and so that I can go ahead and at that point, like I said, the owners, and we can kind of go from there.
Okay. And I'm just putting together the contract right now, and so on the second page we'll have all of the payment schedule. So if you have any questions, just let me know. And I'll add on the website. You can see what it would look like with, all the features and functionality. And, going forward, if you do want to take that off, we could definitely do that. Just to kind of get an idea on my end, what kind of time frame are you looking at to get this up and running?
Probably within 30 days.
Within 30 days, perfect. Okay, so I will send everything over your way, and then obviously reach out if you have any questions, email or give me a call, and happy to help.
Thank you so much, and Happy New Year. Thank you, Kelly. I appreciate it.
Thank you for your time. Okay,
no problem.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.